Question 1. A critical software development project, following a hybrid approach, is nearing its planned closure. The client has expressed satisfaction with the final product, but the project manager is concerned about the long-term support and maintenance arrangements, which fall outside the immediate project scope but are vital for ongoing benefits realization. What is the most appropriate action for the project manager to take regarding this concern during project closure? A. Document the concern in the final project report as a risk for the operational team to manage, then proceed with administrative closure. B. Ensure a formal handover of the project's outputs, documentation, and knowledge to the operational team, securing their sign-off for acceptance. C. Initiate a new, separate project to manage the long-term support and maintenance, as this is beyond the current project scope. D. Renegotiate the project contract with the client to include long-term support and maintenance responsibilities within the current project scope. Answer: B. Ensure a formal handover of the project's outputs, documentation, and knowledge to the operational team, securing their sign-off for acceptance. The most appropriate action during project closure is to ensure a formal handover of the project deliverables, documentation, and knowledge to the operational team responsible for ongoing support and maintenance. This formal transition is crucial for benefits realization, as the project's success is ultimately measured by its ability to deliver value long after its completion. Securing their sign-off confirms acceptance and clarifies responsibilities, preventing future misunderstandings and ensuring operational continuity. Remember, effective project closure isn't just about finishing the work, it's about smoothly transitioning its outcomes for sustained value. Question 2. The project manager for a large infrastructure project is preparing for its administrative closure. Due to a complex legal dispute over land acquisition, some external vendor contracts remain unresolved, even though the project's technical work is fully completed and the deliverable is in use. Which of the following statements best describes the project manager's responsibility regarding these unresolved contracts during administrative closure? A. The project manager should delay administrative closure until all legal disputes and contract issues are fully resolved and closed. B. The project manager should proceed with administrative closure, noting the unresolved contracts, as contract closure is a separate process handled by procurement. C. The project manager must ensure contract closure procedures are completed for all contracts, even if legal disputes prolong the process, before administrative closure is finalized. D. The project manager should transfer responsibility for the unresolved contracts to the legal department or operations team as part of the project handover, then proceed with administrative closure. Answer: C. The project manager must ensure contract closure procedures are completed for all contracts, even if legal disputes prolong the process, before administrative closure is finalized. The project manager is responsible for ensuring that all contract closure procedures are completed as part of project closure, which includes settling all open items, even those entangled in legal disputes. Administrative closure cannot be fully finalized until all contracts are formally closed, as contract closure is an integral part of the overall close project or phase process group. While legal teams may handle the dispute itself, the project manager must track its resolution to ensure the project's contractual obligations are met and formally closed. It's vital to remember that all loose ends, including contractual ones, must be tied up before a project can be truly considered closed. Question 3. A project for developing a new internal communication platform has been terminated prematurely due to a strategic shift within the organization. The project manager is now tasked with managing this project termination. What is the primary objective of managing the termination of a project or phase? A. To minimize financial losses by recovering unspent budget and reassigning project resources immediately. B. To ensure all project work is abruptly stopped, preventing any further expenditure or resource utilization. C. to formally close all project activities, complete administrative closure, and transfer any useful outputs or knowledge to appropriate stakeholders. D. To conduct a detailed forensic analysis to identify the root causes of the termination and assign accountability. Answer: C. To formally close all project activities, complete administrative closure, and transfer any useful outputs or knowledge to appropriate stakeholders. The primary objective of managing a project or phase termination, even when premature, is to formally close all project activities in an orderly manner. This includes completing administrative closure, archiving relevant documentation, closing contracts, and ensuring that any partially completed but useful outputs or accumulated knowledge are properly transferred to relevant stakeholders or operational teams. The goal is to maximize the value from what has been completed, learn from the experience, and prevent unmanaged abandonment. Think of it like packing up a camp. Even if you leave early, you still pack up properly to leave no trace and take useful items with you. Question 4. During the administrative closure of a complex engineering project, the project manager discovers that several key project documents, including the final scope baseline and some change requests, were never formally archived in the organizational project asset library as per the project management plan. What should be the project manager's next step? A. Proceed with the administrative closure checklist, noting the missing documents as an exception for the next project. B. Retroactively collect and formally archive all missing project documents, ensuring the integrity of organizational process assets. C. Inform the functional managers of the responsible team members about the oversight for future disciplinary action. D. Redo the final scope baseline and relevant change requests with the project team to create new, formal versions for archiving. Answer: B. Retroactively collect and formally archive all missing project documents, ensuring the integrity of organizational process assets. During administrative closure, a critical activity is to update and archive all relevant project documents and organizational process assets. If documents like the final scope baseline and change requests are found to be unarchived, the project manager's next step must be to retroactively collect and formally archive them. This ensures that the organization has a complete and accurate record of the project, which is essential for future reference, audits, and lessons learned. Skipping this step would compromise the integrity of organizational process assets and hinder future project planning and execution. Imagine trying to fix a past issue without a complete record; it's nearly impossible. Question 5. An Agile project team has completed its final iteration and deployed the minimum viable product, MVP, to production. The product owner confirms user adoption and satisfaction are high, and the initial business objectives have been met. What is the most crucial aspect for the Scrum Master to focus on during the final stages of the project's transition to operations? A. Ensuring the product backlog is completely empty and prioritized for future releases. B. Facilitating a final retrospective with the team and key stakeholders to capture lessons learned for future projects. C. Verifying all team members' skill sets are updated in the organizational resource pool for immediate reassignment. D. Confirming that all code has been thoroughly commented and adheres to internal coding standards. Answer: B. Facilitating a final retrospective with the team and key stakeholders to capture lessons learned for future projects. While all options have some merit in an Agile context, the most crucial aspect for a Scrum Master during the final stages of a project's transition is facilitating a final retrospective. This meeting, often called a lessons learned session in traditional project management, is vital for the continuous improvement culture of Agile. It provides a structured opportunity for the team and relevant stakeholders to reflect on what went well, what could be improved, and to document these insights as organizational process assets for future projects. This ensures that valuable knowledge gained during the project is captured and shared, fostering organizational learning. Question 6. A project manager is conducting administrative closure activities for a recently completed construction project. The project involved numerous external suppliers and contractors. Which of the following is the most important action related to supplier and contractor management during project closure? A. Informing all suppliers and contractors that the project is complete and no further orders will be placed. B. Ensuring all invoices from suppliers and contractors have been received and paid, and all final deliverables accepted. C. Collecting performance feedback from all suppliers and contractors to be stored in the organizational process assets. D. Validating that all contractual agreements with suppliers and contractors have been formally closed and documented. Answer: D. Validating that all contractual agreements with suppliers and contractors have been formally closed and documented. The most important action related to supplier and contractor management during project closure is to formally close all contractual agreements. This involves verifying that all terms and conditions of the contract have been met, all deliverables accepted, all payments made, and any disputes resolved. Formal contract closure provides legal and financial finality, releasing all parties from their obligations and preventing future claims. While collecting invoices and feedback are important, they are subcomponents of ensuring the complete and formal closure of all contracts. Remember, until a contract is formally closed, its obligations linger. Question 7. A long-running research and development project has successfully delivered a new technology prototype. The project sponsor is eager to transition this prototype to the product development department for further refinement and commercialization. What is the project manager's key responsibility regarding the project team members during this transition phase? A. To ensure all team members are immediately reassigned to new projects to maintain productivity. B. To facilitate knowledge transfer from the project team to the receiving product development team. C. To conduct individual performance reviews for all team members before their departure from the project. D. To update the organizational chart with the new reporting lines for the transition team members. Answer: B. To facilitate knowledge transfer from the project team to the receiving product development team. During the transition of a project's output to another department, a key responsibility of the project manager is to facilitate comprehensive knowledge transfer from the project team to the receiving team. This ensures that all critical information, insights, and lessons learned about the prototype, its development, and any known challenges are effectively shared. Without proper knowledge transfer, the receiving team might struggle, leading to delays or errors in further development and commercialization. Think of it like passing a baton in a relay race. A smooth handoff is crucial for continued momentum. Question 8. A project has completed all its technical work, and the final product has been delivered to the customer. However, a significant number of project team members are still on the payroll, awaiting reassignment, and project assets are still distributed across various departments. What type of closure is still pending for this project? A. Contract closure. B. Phase closure. C. Administrative closure. D. Strategic closure. Answer: C. Administrative closure. Even after the final product is delivered and technical work is complete, a project is not fully closed until administrative closure activities are performed. Administrative closure involves activities such as formalizing project completion, documenting lessons learned, updating organizational process assets, releasing team members, closing out project accounts, and archiving project records. The scenario described, with team members awaiting reassignment and assets still distributed, clearly indicates that these crucial administrative steps have not yet been finalized. Administrative closure ensures all project loose ends are tied up systematically. Question 9. A government project to upgrade national security systems has successfully completed its deployment. However, due to the sensitive nature of the project, certain project documents, especially those containing classified information, cannot be simply archived with standard project records. What is the most appropriate action for the project manager to take regarding these sensitive documents during closure? A. Destroy all classified documents immediately to prevent unauthorized access. B. Archive the classified documents in a secure, restricted access repository with clear retention policies. C. Hand over all classified documents to the project sponsor for their personal safekeeping. D. Redact all classified information from the documents before archiving them in the standard repository. Answer: B. Archive the classified documents in a secure, restricted access repository with clear retention policies. For sensitive or classified documents, the most appropriate action is to archive them in a secure, restricted access repository that adheres to strict organizational and legal retention policies. Destroying them prematurely could lead to legal or compliance issues, while handing them to an individual or redacting them completely might compromise the integrity or future utility of the information. The goal is to balance the need for security with the requirement for proper record keeping and potential future audits or inquiries. This ensures compliance and maintains organizational memory while protecting sensitive data. Question 10. A project manager is performing the close project or phase process. The project has involved extensive risk management activities, and several residual risks remain after project completion. What should the project manager do with information about these residual risks? A. Transfer responsibility for managing residual risks to the operational team as part of the project handover. B. Document the residual risks in the lessons learned register but take no further action as the project is closing. C. Ensure the residual risks are formally archived with other project documents for historical reference. D. Alert the Project Management Office, PMO, about the residual risks for their consideration in future projects. Answer: A. Transfer responsibility for managing residual risks to the operational team as part of the project handover. During project closure, it is crucial to identify and transfer responsibility for any residual risks to the appropriate operational team or entity that will manage the product, service, or result after the project concludes. While documenting them in lessons learned is important for organizational learning, the immediate action is to ensure these ongoing risks are explicitly acknowledged and managed by the party now responsible for the project's output. This proactive transfer prevents future surprises and ensures that the long-term viability of the project's deliverables is protected. Failing to do so could jeopardize the benefits the project aimed to deliver. Question 11. An Agile project team has delivered a successful product, and the product owner is now focused on market adoption and ongoing enhancements. The project manager's primary concern during this transition, particularly regarding team members, is to ensure that a. All team members receive their final performance bonuses. B. The team members are immediately placed on new projects. C. The organizational knowledge gained by the team is retained and transferred. D. The team's velocity metrics are finalized and reported to the PMO. Answer: C. The organizational knowledge gained by the team is retained and transferred. In an Agile context, as a project or product development effort transitions, a primary concern for the project manager or Scrum Master is to ensure that the valuable organizational knowledge gained by the team throughout the project is retained and effectively transferred. This includes technical insights, process improvements, and lessons learned. This knowledge is crucial for future projects, ongoing product enhancements, and overall organizational learning, preventing the loss of valuable experience when teams disband or move to new assignments. Capturing and sharing this knowledge builds organizational memory and capabilities. Question 12. A project for upgrading a company's financial reporting system is in its final stages. A critical aspect of closure involves ensuring that all financial accounts related to the project are closed out. Which of the following best describes the project manager's responsibility in this regard? A. The project manager directly closes all financial accounts and settles outstanding invoices. B. The project manager collaborates with the finance department to verify all project financial accounts are closed, reconciled, and audited. C. The project manager hands over all financial documents to the finance department for their independent closure process. D. The project manager only reviews the final financial report provided by the finance department for accuracy. Answer: B. The project manager collaborates with the finance department to verify all project financial accounts are closed, reconciled, and audited. While the finance department typically handles the technical closing of financial accounts, the project manager holds the ultimate responsibility for ensuring that all project-related financial accounts are properly closed, reconciled, and, if required, audited. This collaborative effort with the finance department ensures financial integrity, prevents lingering liabilities, and confirms that all financial obligations have been met before the project is officially closed. The project manager doesn't do it alone but ensures it gets done correctly. This collaborative approach ensures accuracy and proper financial stewardship. Question 13. During the closure of a complex IT project, the project manager is compiling the final project report. It's noted that a significant number of approved change requests were processed throughout the project, many of which impacted the scope and schedule. What should be the project manager's key focus when documenting these changes in the final report? A. Simply listing all change requests and their approval dates. B. Detailing the impact of each change request on the project's baselines, especially scope, schedule, and cost. C. Including only the change requests that caused significant deviations from the original plan. D. Recommending improvements to the change control process for future projects based on the volume of changes. Answer: B. Detailing the impact of each change request on the project's baselines, especially scope, schedule, and cost. When documenting change requests in the final project report, the project manager's key focus should be on detailing the impact of each change on the project's baselines, scope, schedule, cost, and quality. This provides a comprehensive overview of how the project evolved from its original plan, offering valuable insights for future planning and performance analysis. Merely listing changes or focusing only on major deviations misses the opportunity to provide a full picture of the project's management history. This detailed documentation contributes to organizational process assets, helping future projects understand how changes affect performance. Question 14. A product development project has completed its final testing phase, and the product is ready for market release. The project manager is preparing the final project report and notices that the initial business case, which projected a 25% market share within the first year, is now seen as overly optimistic. What is the most appropriate way for the project manager to address this discrepancy in the final project report? A. Omit the original business case projection to avoid misrepresenting project success. B. Highlight the variance in the final project report and recommend a post-project benefits realization review to assess actual outcomes. C. Revise the original business case projection in the final report to reflect a more realistic market share. D. State that the project delivered the product on time and within budget, thus fulfilling its primary objectives regardless of market share. Answer: B. Highlight the variance in the final project report and recommend a post-project benefits realization review to assess actual outcomes. The most appropriate way to address a discrepancy between the initial business case and perceived outcomes during project closure is to highlight the variance in the final project report and recommend a post-project benefits realization review. The project manager's role is to deliver the project's output, but the realization of benefits often extends beyond project closure. Recommending a post-project review acknowledges this and ensures that the true value and long-term success of the project can be assessed, providing valuable feedback for future strategic planning. This proactive approach ensures ongoing accountability for the project's intended value. Question 15. The project to migrate an organization's data to a new cloud platform is formally closed. However, a small team of technical experts from the original project team is kept on for an additional 3 months to provide hypercare support for the new system. From a project management perspective, what is the status of the project team members assigned to hypercare support? A. They are still considered part of the project team, extending the project's administrative closure. B. They have transitioned to an operational support role, and their activities are outside the project's scope. C. They are performing ad hoc work that does not require formal project management oversight. D. They are part of a new, separate project focused solely on hypercare support. Answer: B. They have transitioned to an operational support role, and their activities are outside the project's scope. Once a project is formally closed, any ongoing activities like hypercare support, even if performed by former project team members, fall under operational support. The project has delivered its outputs, and the focus has shifted to the ongoing maintenance and stability of the new system. These individuals are no longer part of the project team, and their activities are outside the closed project's scope and budget. This distinction is crucial for clear accountability and proper resource management, ensuring the project's boundaries are respected. Question 16. A project manager is conducting a final review meeting as part of project closure. The meeting includes the project team, key stakeholders, and the sponsor. What is the primary purpose of this meeting? A. To celebrate project success and distribute final appreciation gifts to the team. B. To formally obtain final acceptance of the project deliverables from the sponsor and key stakeholders. C. To discuss individual team member performance for their annual reviews. D. To plan for the next project or phase based on lessons learned from the current project. Answer: B. To formally obtain final acceptance of the project deliverables from the sponsor and key stakeholders. The primary purpose of a final review meeting during project closure is to formally obtain final acceptance of the project deliverables from the sponsor and key stakeholders. This sign-off confirms that the project's objectives have been met and the client or internal stakeholders are satisfied with the final product, service, or result. While other activities like celebrating success or discussing lessons learned are important, securing formal acceptance is critical for declaring the project truly complete and moving towards administrative closure. It's the official stamp of approval that the project has fulfilled its purpose. Question 17. A project has concluded, delivering a new manufacturing process. The project manager is collecting lessons learned. Several team members indicate that the communication plan was ineffective, leading to misunderstandings and rework. What is the most effective way to document this specific lesson learned to maximize its value for future projects? A. Communication plan was bad, needs improvement. B. Ineffective communication plan caused issues. Project managers should communicate more. C. The reliance on email for critical updates without follow-up meetings led to misinterpretations and rework. Future projects should incorporate mandatory weekly sync-up meetings for key stakeholders. D. Team members reported communication challenges, indicating a need for better communication strategies in future projects. Answer: C. The reliance on email for critical updates without follow-up meetings led to misinterpretations and rework. Future projects should incorporate mandatory weekly sync-up meetings for key stakeholders. The most effective way to document lessons learned is to make them specific, actionable, and tied to their impact. This example clearly identifies the cause, reliance on email without follow-up, the effect, misinterpretations and rework, and a concrete recommendation for improvement, mandatory weekly sync-up meetings. Vague statements like communication plan was bad or needs improvement offer little practical guidance. A well-documented lesson learned provides clear context and actionable advice, making it truly valuable for organizational learning and improvement in future projects. Question 18. A software development project has concluded, and the final deliverable has been accepted by the customer. However, the project manager receives an email from the customer's operations department indicating a critical bug found shortly after deployment, which was not identified during project testing. What is the project manager's most appropriate action? A. Instruct the development team to immediately fix the bug, as it is a project deliverable issue. B. Explain to the customer that the project is closed, and bug fixes are now the responsibility of the operational support team. C. Initiate a formal change request to reopen the project scope and address the bug, if approved. D. Facilitate communication between the operational team and the former project development team to transfer knowledge and assist with initial troubleshooting. Answer: D. Facilitate communication between the operational team and the former project development team to transfer knowledge and assist with initial troubleshooting. Even after formal project closure, a project manager has an implicit responsibility to ensure a smooth transition and support the long-term success of the project's deliverables. While the project is technically closed, assisting with initial troubleshooting by facilitating knowledge transfer between the former project team and the operational team is the most professional and proactive approach. This action helps maintain goodwill with the customer and ensures the issue is addressed efficiently, even if it falls under operational support. It bridges the gap between project delivery and ongoing operations, showcasing commitment to the deliverables' long-term health. Question 19. A complex engineering project involving multiple international vendors is nearing completion. The project manager is reviewing the final contractual agreements to ensure all obligations are met. During this review, it is discovered that one vendor has not yet provided the final warranty documentation as stipulated in their contract, despite their work being technically complete. What is the project manager's primary responsibility in this scenario? A. Close the contract immediately, as the vendor's work is complete and delay is costing the project. B. Inform the legal department and wait for their guidance on how to proceed. C. Withhold final payment to the vendor until the warranty documentation is provided, in accordance with the contract. D. Formally document the outstanding item in the final project report and close the project, assuming the vendor will eventually comply. Answer: C. Withhold final payment to the vendor until the warranty documentation is provided, in accordance with the contract. The project manager's primary responsibility in this scenario is to ensure all contractual obligations are met, including the provision of warranty documentation, before finalizing contract closure and releasing final payment. Withholding final payment is a contractual leverage point designed to ensure compliance with agreed-upon terms. Closing the contract or project prematurely, or merely documenting the issue, would risk the organization's legal and financial position. This ensures the project delivers on all its promises, both technical and contractual. Question 20. An Agile team has just completed delivering a significant new feature, which is now live in production. The team will be moving on to a completely different product initiative next sprint. Before they disband or reform, what is the most important closure activity for the Scrum Master to facilitate? A. A final team celebration event to boost morale. B. Updating individual team members' skills matrices in the HR system. C. A product handover session to transfer knowledge to the ongoing support team. D. A comprehensive lessons learned retrospective focused on the entire feature development lifecycle. Answer: D. A comprehensive lessons learned retrospective focused on the entire feature development lifecycle. The most important closure activity for an Agile team before disbanding or reforming is to conduct a comprehensive lessons learned retrospective. While a product handover is important for ongoing support, and celebrations boost morale, the retrospective is crucial for capturing valuable insights about the process of developing the feature. This session allows the team to reflect on what went well, what could be improved, and to document these actionable insights. This knowledge is then incorporated into organizational process assets, promoting continuous improvement for future product initiatives and enhancing the team's effectiveness. Question 21. A project has been delivered ahead of schedule and under budget, exceeding all technical performance targets. However, the key stakeholders who will use the product are currently undergoing a major organizational restructuring and are unable to fully engage in the formal acceptance process or immediate transition planning. What is the best course of action for the project manager? A. Force the formal acceptance and transition, citing the project's successful completion and contractual obligations. B. Delay the formal project closure until the organizational restructuring is complete and stakeholders can fully engage. C. Proceed with administrative closure but defer the formal product acceptance and transition, documenting the reasons and gaining agreement from the sponsor. D. Transfer all remaining project documents and the product to the sponsor, making them responsible for future acceptance and transition. Answer: C. Proceed with administrative closure but defer the formal product acceptance and transition, documenting the reasons and gaining agreement from the sponsor. In this challenging situation, the best course of action is to proceed with administrative closure activities that are within the project manager's control, example, archiving documents, closing contracts, releasing resources, but defer the formal product acceptance and transition activities. This deferral must be clearly documented, and explicit agreement obtained from the project sponsor. Forcing acceptance on disengaged stakeholders is counterproductive, and delaying the entire project closure is inefficient. This approach allows the project manager to complete their duties while ensuring the critical handover happens effectively when the receiving party is ready.
Question 22. A project for a new energy-efficient building has been completed and formally handed over to the facilities management team. As part of project closure, the project manager must ensure the project's environmental impact assessment and sustainability reports are properly archived. Which of the following elements are these documents primarily intended for when archived? A. To fulfill legal and regulatory compliance requirements for future audits. B. To serve as marketing collateral for future company bids. C. To provide historical performance data for future project baselines. D. To assist in negotiating future contracts with similar environmental clauses. Answer: A. To fulfill legal and regulatory compliance requirements for future audits. Project documents like environmental impact assessments and sustainability reports are primarily archived to fulfill legal and regulatory compliance requirements and for potential future audits. Many projects, especially in construction or engineering, have strict mandates for environmental responsibility and reporting. Proper archiving ensures the organization can demonstrate compliance if challenged, and provides a clear record of due diligence. While they might incidentally inform future baselines or contracts, their core purpose in archiving is legal and regulatory adherence. Question 23. The project manager is conducting the final project review. It is identified that certain risks, previously deemed low priority, have materialized and caused minor issues post-deployment. The project is officially closed. What is the most valuable information to capture about these materialized risks in the lessons learned register? A. A simple list of the risks that materialized. B. A detailed analysis of why these risks were initially misclassified as low priority. C. An assessment of the impact of these materialized risks on the final benefits realization. D. Recommendations on how to improve the risk identification and assessment process for future projects. Answer: D. Recommendations on how to improve the risk identification and assessment process for future projects. While understanding why risks were misclassified, option B, and assessing their impact, option C, are important components of a lessons learned entry, the most valuable information to capture is actionable recommendations on how to improve the risk identification and assessment process for future projects. The goal of lessons learned is continuous process improvement. By providing concrete recommendations, the project manager contributes directly to enhancing organizational process assets and helping future projects avoid similar pitfalls, making the learning truly beneficial. Question 24. A project manager has just completed administrative closure for a successful project. What is the most critical immediate impact of this action on the project management team members? A. They are immediately eligible for promotions and salary increases. B. Their performance reviews for the project are automatically finalized. C. They are formally released from the project and available for reassignment. D. They become part of the project's permanent operational support team. Answer: C. They are formally released from the project and available for reassignment. Upon administrative closure, a critical immediate impact is that project team members are formally released from the project. This makes them available for reassignment to new projects or functional roles within the organization. This formal release is a key part of closing out the project's resources and ensures proper resource management across the organization. It allows the organization to optimize resource utilization and plan for future initiatives. Question 25. A project is nearing completion, and the project manager needs to prepare for a successful project closure. Among the various tasks, what is the most crucial deliverable that must be produced as a final output of the close project or phase process? A. The final project report, detailing all project activities and outcomes. B. The lessons learned register, documenting insights for future projects. C. The project closure statement or formal notification of project completion. D. Updates to organizational process assets, including project archives. Answer: C. The project closure statement or formal notification of project completion. While all listed options are important deliverables during project closure, the most crucial one is the project closure statement or a formal notification of project completion. This formal document officially marks the end of the project or phase, signaling to all stakeholders that the project has concluded its activities and that all associated processes like administrative and contract closure are either complete or underway. Without this formal statement, there's no official record of the project's termination, which can lead to ambiguity regarding responsibilities and resource allocation. It provides the official, finishing line, for the project.